Hello champ, welcome back once again to this channel. In this video, we're looking at how to separate our data using text to column and flashfill. What is data separation? Data separation is a process of splitting your data or combine words together into simpler words. So let's say you have a column that contains full names of some persons. It contains their first name and their last name. And you're trying to split this column into two, to have a column containing the first name alone and a column containing the last names alone. With the use of text to column or flashfill, we can separate the data in that combined column into simpler columns. So let's check out how we can split our data using text to column and flashfill.
We'll be looking at how to split our data using text to column and flashfill. I will also show us the automatic way Microsoft Excel will help us fill down without us using text to column or flashfill. So we have a table here that contains details about some people, their IDs, full name, address, contact, and we have a date here containing dates and time. So I want to split this full name into two. I want to have it as first name and last name. So to do this, I'm going to use the text to column to split this column. All I have to do is just select a column. Then you can find this text to column in your data tab. Inside your data tools group, you'll see the text to column command. So I'll click on this button now. First, let's go back and see what it's used for, so you understand. Now it says split a single column of text into multiple columns, and you're giving an example of how it would separate the columns into two. So I'll click on this now. Now I have this dialog box, convert text to columns wizard, step 1 of 3. It means we still have 2 more steps to get that column splitted. So the first thing here is choose the file type that best describes your data. We have delimited, we have fixed width. By delimited is saying that table you want to divide, the table you want to split, what is that thing separating those two words together? Is it comma? Is it semicolon? Is it colon? Is it hyphen? Your delimiter could be any character at all. But here we don't have comma, semicolon, and anything separating these names here. What is separating them is just space. We have space in between John and Lou. So our delimiter in this case is space, because that's what separates the first name from the last name. I'll leave it as delimited. We can see we have fixed width here. It says fields are aligned in columns with spaces between each field. So if you have a fixed width, or you have those words aligned well in your columns with like the same amount of space in between, then you can go with fixed width. But you can see here these fields are not aligned in the columns. Some names are longer than the others, so we can't use fixed width to do this. But let's work with delimited and see how it works, and also come back to use fixed width to see also what happens when we use fixed width. So we're going to go back and click next here. Then we have the second dialog box, step 2 of 3. So it's asking what kind of delimiter is separating your data. So what's separating my data is space. So treat consecutive delimiters as one. Then you can see your data preview here. Full name that's split into John Doe, Jane Smith, Alice Johnson, Bob and Brown. And I'll hit next. Then we have the next one here. It's saying what is your column data format, which is text. You can leave it at general or hit text, since you know what kind of data type is in that column. So I'll leave it at this. Then the next thing is the destination. Where do you want this to be splitted into? So I want it to be splitted. If I just leave it at this, it's going to override this address. It will just replace the whole thing in address. Let's see what happens if I leave it at this in column D. Then let's hit finish. That's because we already have data in the address column. What it's going to do here now, if I hit OK, it will split the full name into this column D and column E. So let's hit OK and see what happens. Can you see now? You can't see the address column anymore because it has replaced it with the last name. So I don't want it to be that way. So what I want to do is make Ctrl Z to, then I would insert. I'll insert 2 columns because I want to split it into 2 columns. So I'll go back, repeating the same step, data tab, data tools group, text to column, repeating the same thing that I did over, and now my destination is no longer going to be column D, but it's going to be this place. then I'll hit finish. Yes, I want to replace it. Okay, can you see that? So this full name has been splitted using text to column, full name, and first name and last name. So I can change this now to first name, and I can change this to last name. Okay, so let's see what happens now if we should split this using fixed width. I mean this data using fixed width. So let me just cancel what is here. I'm going to clear all the contents here. Should downward, right click, then I would hit clear contents. So I'm clearing everything. So trying out using fixed width, go back, text column, then fixed width, then next. So you can see we have the second step is for you to create a break line. You want to specify where you should break the column into two. It's not going to be easy, right? Full name, John Doe, Jane Smith, Alice. Can you see that's cut E from Alice? Bob. If I scroll down, if you get to some point where we'll have some names, can you see the line cut through Zachary and Martinez? So it's not splitting it well, because why? We don't have a fixed width in this column. The width of this column is not fixed. The width of the words there is not fixed. Don't have the same number of widths between them. So when I click on next, then I want to select this place, then I'll hit finish. So can you see now it didn't split this column well. So the best option is just using the limited option, selecting the limited option. So let's go back and just Ctrl Z it. So another way you can split this column again is using flashfill. So all you have to do is just type in the first example, John, hit enter, then go back, select it, and in your detail tab, still inside your detail tools group, you see the command flashfill. So you can see flashfill automatically fills in values, and you can see the command there, Ctrl+E. So I'll click on flashfill and it fills the rest for me. So I'm going to do for the last name, just type in Doe, enter. So instead of going back to select flashfill, all you have to just use the shortcut Ctrl+E, and it fills the rest for me. This is how you use your flashfill to do this. Okay, so let's see. Now another way you can do this again is automatical, like the automatic way you can split column using Microsoft Excel. All I have to do is just type in the first pattern, the first example, then the minute you start tapping the next one, you can see the rest has appeared in a very, very faint color. Then I'll just hit enter. This is the automatic way you split. All you have to do is just set the example for Microsoft Excel to notice. Then once you notice the pattern that okay, you're trying to extract these particular words from this column, then it will help. You can see the rest has appeared in faint color. Hit enter. So you can see this. We just splitted this full name column using text to column, using flashfill, and the automatic way Microsoft Excel will help us split our columns into two. So let me just name this first name. First name. Okay, so we want to split this address column now into street, city, and state. Do this the same method. Come here, select the column in my data tab, inside my data tools group, select text column. Then of course you can see here that we have a delimiter here, and the delimiter separating all this street from the city and from the state is comma. So I'll check delimited, then click next. So now it's saying what is your delimiter. My delimiter is comma, not space, comma, not space. Okay, when you check space, let's see what happens here. Can you see you check space, it splitted the one. You can see the preview here, 1 2 3, the number of the street, then the street. It didn't split well, so it's not space but comma. So you can see the street, the city, and the state. Then I'll hit next. I can leave it at general, or you can click on text, whichever one you want it to be. So where do you want it to be? So we would have a problem because it's going to override the contacts column. So let's just go back and insert 3 columns. So insert, and I'm going to insert 3 columns because I want to split them into these columns. Now repeat the step all over again. Data tab, text column, next, then next, and I want it to be here, finish. So can you see that we splitted this column contain address into these 3 columns? So I'm going to rename this street. I'll rename this city, and I'll rename this state. We just splitted this. Okay, so using flashfill, let's say I want to extract the area code from this contact using flashfill. I'll just insert a new column. Now name this column area code. I want to extract the code in between brackets, braces here. All I have to do is just using flashfill. Don't forget, just type in the first example 545, hit enter, then Ctrl E to the shortcut for flashfill, and it fills the rest out. Can you see that? Okay, so the next thing now is I want to split this column for date into date and time. So you would see now in this case we have a fixed width here. So I can use the fixed width in the text column to split this. Let's go. Select this, then in my data tab, inside my data tools group, click on text to column. Then I would check fixed width. Why? Because the feeds are aligned in columns with space between each feed. This, like, the space is just on point for all the details or values in this column. Then I would go back and click next. So for you to create a break line, you would just, that's already created a break line. If I want to delete this now, all I have to do is just double click on it to delete it. You can see, to delete a break line, double click on the line. To move a break line, click and drag it. So I want to create a break line. All I have to do is just select anywhere by just clicking. And you see, I just clicked and I have this. If you scroll down, you can see that it has splitted it. So we don't have that issue that we had with the full name where it was cutting through some names. It has splitted it well. Then I would hit next. Then where do I want it to be? I want it to also split in that same destination, and I'll finish it.